What's your biggest turnoff in guys?
Probably when they don't work out.
Oh, really?
And stuff.
If you got cheated on, you probably deserved it.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to a virtual mugging and 6 manipulative mind games to keep your boyfriend obsessed with you. I fear I may have just unfrozen a disease-riddled Arctic glacier full of HD mouth wrestlings and a groping gold mine that will forever plague this planet. The behavior of nearly everyone on Couple Talk or its other garbillion synonymous tags is so bizarre it has me questioning if I'm the weird one here. Having an endless list of icks is encouraged. Toxic dynamics are not only tolerated but glorified, and I know damn well none of you are licensed to give people advice. Just because you put a hashtag down there doesn't mean it's true.
Last thing is if she has a lot of guy friends.
If you're a grown-ass man and you have a phone case.
The priority list of Couple Talk influencers must go skincare mini fridge, performative affection, right-wing grifter relationship coach. The first daunting thing that really ripped me down into the deep dark depths of hollow gratification lane was relationship icks, because my For You page seems to be months behind everyone else's.
My best friend and I have an ongoing notes app of icks we have. Second ick, eating a bagel. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Third, taking a bath alone. Why are you doing that as a man?
These delusional lists tend to be quite extensive, like an entire novel's worth of complaints. This isn't having high standards, it's insanity and a one-way ticket to adopting 3 hairless cats and forever rotting away in a tiny home. It's turned into a ruthless game of scrutinizing every minuscule habit or quirk. It's curated perfection to a new degree of hair, because what do you mean you're gonna forbid someone from being paralyzed? Oh, you lost your hand in a whitewater rafting accident? Oh, sorry, but the way your legs don't move gives me the ick. You wanna know what my biggest ick is? Missing out on awesome little deals. Do you ever find yourself endlessly scrolling through online shopping apps, trying to find that one thing you're looking for, and when you finally do, it's insanely overpriced? Well, let me introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, Temu. Temu is an online shopping site where you can find high-quality goods for cheap, and I mean incredibly cheap. There's something for everyone, like silly things. Kirby Light, it's so cool. It's really bright though, I'd say to probably not stare into it. Projector, it has a bunch of different apps and is crystal clear, which shocked me because I've never owned one of these things. This is my favorite thing I've ever purchased ever. There's also everyday things like kitchen and cookware. Loads of things for your creatures. Ash is obsessed with this bed I bought her. Her ass is usually all over my blankets, but not anymore, thank God. And a bunch of fun, stylish clothes that look swaggy. The best part about this is if you guys download the Temu app and search my code in the product search bar, you'll get a $100 coupon bundle to save more. For all my new users out there, you guys are extra special. You can purchase one of my picks today for just $1 Just one. If you scan this QR code and download the Temu app right now, you'll gain instant access to some of the best deals you'll find anywhere. The event is live, so don't wait, scan that code and start exploring those epic deals. Everyone seems to have a grocery list of preferences, which includes uncontrollable things. Men's names that are an immediate red flag. Jason, Matt, Michael. These are the most basic names I've ever heard. If you came on here telling me to stay away from Dracula, I'd understand, but Matt? Not even like Merlin? If he has one of these names, run. Matt, Jason. Is there something I'm missing? Chris and Jake. Okay, that's 50% of the population. Aw, he's so cute. What do you gotta name him? I think Jake. What? Or maybe, Gargoyle? Yes, that's a good one.
What is your biggest tick in a guy?
Oh, if you're a grown-ass man and you have a phone case, what are you doing? Like, you can't even protect your own phone? How are you supposed to protect me?
Okay. There's a lot of layers here. This traditionalist view is really cool coming from someone who has an OnlyFans pillow behind them. I'm not sure if you know, but you might need a better disguise if you plan on view-baiting conservatives. Would it be different if there were big red flames on the back of it and a tactical knife pop socket, or are they all for feminine freaks of nature? Apart from the obvious kick streamer romanticizing benevolent sexism that's going on here, what's the beef with a good phone case? God forbid anyone has convenience in their life. Mine has that little card holder thing going on the back of it, and I love it more than I love myself. But it's not that hard of an achievement. A social expectation that many women have been conditioned to believe is that finding a man who can protect you is key in a relationship, and I just want to know how many times a day the boogeyman is visiting you. Me personally, I stopped seeing him around town once I turned 7. Making obvious grift content demanding that a guy's purpose in a relationship is to protect you from other men just feels like a wasteful way to use your platform. Rather than focusing so much on protecting women, men should be focusing on being a man that women don't need to be protected from. I feel like you should want a partner, not a troglodyte in search of a childlike girlfriend.
I'm about to walk down the aisle, and I'm just thinking, if he's crying, there's a chance I get the ick.
Yes, I too flaunt my pettiness and lack of basic human empathy. Our generation's rapidly declining emotional depth needs to be thrown under a microscope ASAP, because your husband crying should not give you the ick. My wedding will be tears-free, and if anyone dares to challenge that, I stay strapped with my ick eliminator. So many of the men being feminine icks just happens to be challenging gender expectations. Caregiving responsibilities should fall on the woman. How dare a man be involved in a child's life and not out in the woods hunting dodo birds that the woman would cook for dinner because cooking as a man is a cardinal sin.
What makes ick?
I don't like when men know how to cook, because why do you know how to cook? That's a problem.
Seems like anytime a guy shows the slightest bit of knowledge in something that isn't caveman, strike rock with stick and make light block, he's deemed not relationship material. And if he shows any emotion other than anger, set off the air raid sirens.
You know what I find funny?
I didn't know they made umbrellas that tiny. Absolutely nothing is getting through that impenetrable barrier. It's like if you took 2 petrified caterpillars off the side of the street and glued them to your face.
When a guy actually goes out of their way and goes and clicks on my profile and blocks me.
I'm kinda scared of you right now. It shouldn't look like your eyes are still open when you blink. This is a serious problem.
Like, I hate you that bad that you had to block me. It's giving feminine energy vibes.
No wonder you're getting repeatedly blocked. You're possessed, dude.
And it's alright if the girl blocks the guy, but when a guy blocks the girl, it's like, relax with the emotions.
There's just something supernaturally wrong about that laugh. Moving on to other types of icks, and god is there an absorbent amount of them, accompanying the ridiculous standards that no mere mortal could possibly live up to is not having fun ever. Not a lingering drop of it, especially not bowling. Your girlfriend hates when you do it and she will break up with you.
New ick unlocked, guys bowling.
Whoa, what was that? Excitement? Did I say you could do that, or are we just committing unforgivable offenses against the sacred laws of humanity for fun? Yeah, I don't care about icks. Did you see the way he hit that, though? He's crazy! Ooh, but that jump at the end, buddy, that was a deal breaker.
You know what else should be illegal for men to do? I promise this will be the last one. They should not be able to open their mouths. That's it.
Dating apps have become a disposable game, and it's made nitpicking so much more easier, which is definitely helping this illness thrive. I can't imagine these people out on a real date that's actually left the app. Yeah, so I just don't think men should go to the circus, or trampoline parks, or roller skating, or arcades, or anything, actually. Yeah, great. Is that everything then? No, I have some more. Just give me a second. Okay, let's see here. You could maybe, like, verbalize. I can't. That's ick 57. I feel like the art of communication died the second ByteDance made this app.
When you discover a new ick about your boyfriend. Jake.
Oh, we got that feeling.
Ew, what the hell, man? Am I insane? Because there's no problem with this. So you're telling me you like stuffed animals and you're an adult? Who do you think you are? Get in the coffin, Jake. Wait a minute, Jake. As in, if he has one of those names, then... POV, your cringe boyfriend produces house music. Wow, I really love this intro. POV, your abnormal freak boyfriend makes shit-ass music.
What are you doing?
Oh, you in your little music room again?
Yeah, I just finished something off. I want to show you quickly. Can you take a listen, yeah?
Do I have to?
Yeah, just be quick. So picture this, like dingy, dirty warehouse vibes. So it comes up. Ooh, that's the bass line.
Stop it then.
You don't like it then?
Well, it's just a bit boom, 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 isn't it? They all sound the same to me.
Sorry, but I don't have time to understand your hobbies. I have to publicly shame you for something you're passionate about. Icks aren't just shallow turnoffs, they're symptoms of a much deeper problem. The growing intolerance and lack of empathy is actively sabotaging the future of human connection. If there's one aspect of uniqueness anywhere, it's turned into a competition.
We're gonna see how rare our names are.
I've only met 2 people with my name, it's gonna be rare.
Or completely eliminated.
Don't name your kid something stupid with a hyphen in the middle of it or a capital anywhere in the name. This is coming from somebody who has both in her name.
The biggest ick names under the sun.
The mindless obsession with trivial icks has reduced relationships to a checklist of superficial no-nos. Their self-absorbed fixation on token perfection is so lame and big-headed, you're not exempt from looking dumb as your bare ass waddles to grab toilet paper. I'm seeing so many pet peeves that are simply just human things, like what do you mean your boyfriend eating food gives you the ick? Would you prefer him dead?
What is your biggest ick in a guy?
The thought of them having a shower and waiting for the water to get hot and just standing there naked.
Is it the general idea of him waiting, or the duration? And do people normally wait for the water to heat up fully unclothed? Because I don't do that. I think this may be my ick as well. Oh my god, it's spreading. It's an ickfection. Why would you wait naked though? It's not an Olive Garden, your balls don't vibrate when the water's ready. Another big one I've been seeing is being tired.
Guys, I've developed a new ick at work. It is grown men yawning. Hold it in.
I really like the implication that yawning is only for children. Grown men can't be tired, and if you are, well, you're certainly not allowed to sleep. Sorry, but I do make the rules. You know the little flappy things that you hear out of if you're not hated by God? Ears, as they're commonly called? Well, for some reason, them flying in the wind is TikTok's collective ick.
New ick unlocked.
New ick unlocked.
Why the f are ears a thing? Ears give me the biggest ick. Like, I don't want to see that I can handle feet. I can handle anything like that. Ears, though? I'm sorry?
You're a freakazoid for preferring feet over ears. You have a deep psychological issue in that big old brain of yours if you genuinely think this way, and I'd be happy to schedule you an appointment. The earlobe hating ick seems to be a universal one, but the tops, that's what really matters, because some are more attractive than others.
I'm gonna ask you one question. So, what gives you the ick in a guy?
When they don't have pointy ears.
They don't have pointy ears.
I don't like it when they don't have pointy ears, yeah.
So you're telling me you're into elves? You would love the North Pole. What makes you look at a person and go, that's a nice pair of pointies, I must say. They're just angled in such a comforting way. Yeah, I could get intimate with those. When he uses GPS to go on a 4-hour road trip, how do you not know where to go? Do you know where to go? Do you want to drive? I would purposefully drive straight into a wild safari zoo and say I got lost if I were him. Road icks has to be the most interesting section I've seen so far because they are all repulsed by their partners wearing seatbelts. It's non-negotiable. Are you allowed one and he isn't?
What gives you the ick?
When a boy puts a seatbelt on in the car, it repulses me.
No, I totally understand the hate for traffic laws. I aim to demolish, personally. I think everyone should cut the seatbelts from their cars so that I can have 100% accuracy.
How mad is it when men press the green light and wait for the green man?
Send this to someone who gives you the ick.
What was that? Promo?
Send this to somebody you plan on chasing off the road.
Just cross the road, love. I'm not gonna bonnet ya.
Well, I will, so you better press that damn button. So men should be big and brave and run into traffic to get pulverized because that green little guy is for babies. Does she think that the street crossing indicators are there for aesthetic reasons? Stop! That button's for girls only. The one up top, that one's yours, actually. She wants you to run into traffic, but then if you get hit, it's also an ick.
Okay, so, might be a bit right.
I can't just let the video play and not address this. I don't do makeup, but nobody's natural color is orange. Why is this even a thing? Is there one for jaundice as well?
But when a boy gets hit by like a slow-moving car.
Specifically a slow-moving car? Is there a memory attached to this? Getting hit by a slow car is never actually slow, though, because the momentum is like 5,000 pounds. I can't believe you couldn't take getting hit by a tank like a man. I'm breaking up with you. Absolutely repulsive.
Getting hit by a bicycle. I don't care how many children we share together. Like, I have the egg.
In my defense, those cynical cyclers are the most obnoxious, self-entitled people around me on a daily basis. If they keep sideswiping me, I will buy a bike just to run them off the road. I get taken out by one nearly every day, going at ungodly speeds down the walking path. I know there's only like 3 deaths a year caused by cyclists, but I have a feeling my time is soon. This is another one where the ick is usually unavoidable. Am I supposed to foresee this great collision? Also, what is that? Are you planning to race that thing into cyclism? Because you're giving it ideas right now.
Here is a list of things that men do that absolutely repulses me. If steam could blow out of my ears and I could shoot lasers out of my eyes, this is the things that would trigger
This
it.
really must give you a gargantuan ick. What could it be?
If he has a low pain tolerance. If you're a man, you're not allowed to have a low pain tolerance. Even if it hurts, shut up.
This is the same kind of person who would blame men for not showing emotions, by the way. Yeah, it really sucks that you got hit by that Toyota, babe, but I'm not your emotional tampon, so please stop crying. It was just a battle tank. Calm down and shut up.
I stubbed my toe and it really hurts. I can't go up the stairs anymore because my toe really hurts.
I will never understand or support the urge to break into baby talk. So many of these icks are truly just normal things. Going to the dentist, ick. Ew. Someone carrying your heavy luggage? Double ick. I'm gonna throw up. The dentist one isn't even about going to the dentist, it's just sitting in the chair, which is something that you do as well.
When a man finds your hyper-independence super attractive. Yeah, I can be independent. Like, the fact that you find that hot and attractive is, like, a huge ick.
This is the exact opposite of toxic and oppressive gender stereotypes. Would you rather him be attracted to you because you're dependent and childlike?
Do not date someone who is depressed.
Moving on from the giant ickberg I just wasted my life away on, we have relationship advice, which is about as valuable as a pube in your drink. I'm not sure what it was I did, but the TikTok algorithm is fully under the impression that I enjoy middle-aged women dispensing century-old life advice. The dating coach cult is completely overrun with traditionalist tunnel vision preaching toxic takes whoever wants to hear. It's mainly kids. Kids watch these. These people are about as qualified to spit out relationship advice as I am to perform neurosurgery. With a weed whacker and tequila as tools. Their little pieces of wisdom are just heaps of flaming hot shit oversimplified to the point of parody and stale gender stereotypes. A person that does this perfectly is Neela, a self-proclaimed relationship coach that seems to have only confidence and very limited real-world experience. At first I thought she was a bigot bait genius, but then I saw her 20th birthday gift and knew she was serious.
Come and unbox my new birthday gift that I got from my boyfriend.
So does your boyfriend ever relax, or is he permanently in that stance? Wow, such a meaningful gift. It's who's that?
Great.
Wait, who's that behind you? What? Oh, he's gone. Oh, behind you. What's he doing with his arms? He just does that. He's like an Enderman, actually.
So if your girl does any of these things, there is some sus going on. If her phone's always facing down, or sometimes she'll leave the room to get a text, That's sus.
Or people may just want privacy in a relationship.
Second thing is post excessive amount of selfies. I'm not talking 1 or 2, I'm talking like 4 or 5 a day. Why? Ask yourself why.
She has all the emotional intelligence of a brick. If you're that insecure about your partner taking photos of themselves, then maybe you should leave. Her account only gets worse. It's a never-ending echo chamber of toxicity, all reinforced by a tidal wave of bobbleheads in the comments. She's a bum. With that phone, I'll smash it. Hella sus. It's crazy that in this generation we even have to peep these signs. You don't. It's a cesspool of misogyny where autonomy goes to die a slow, painful death.
Second thing is if she has an unnatural hair color, like split dye or something like that, that is just sus.
A hair color is an indication of cheating. You'd have to be a new rank of psychologically damaged to have a hair color insecurity. She feels like a pick-me who's heard men around her say this and wants their approval. It's all just thinly veiled projections of their own paranoia and fragile egos masquerading as relationship advice, which she's repeating for brownie points. Hashtag advice for men, dating coach, suspicious partner. The advice being controlling behavior and commodifying suspicion.
Men and women fall in love differently. Studies shown men fall in love when vasopressin is released, and women fall in love when oxytocin is released. These are just hormones. Oxytocin is released during breastfeeding, activity, and giving labor, and that's how girls fall in love. Vasopressin is released when you're in the sauna, you go to the gym, and when you cause stress on yourself. So men fall in love when they're stressed.
So women need to be loved, and men, they don't need that. They need a forest fire. Wow, I'm just in so much love right now. So I plan on slashing his tires next week to release those hormones of his. Oh man, I'll have to change my whole schedule around. This is gonna be tough. I feel this is a crazy conclusion to jump to. You said that women also release this hormone when in labor, right? So when they're in pain. Guys, I've made a discovery. Women fall in love with you if you injure them.
What a lot of people don't understand is that most of the time, cheating is an impulsive decision. So when someone's doing it, they're not thinking about their loved one or their partner. On top of this, if you or your partner cheat, know that the #1 reason for cheating is just lack of emotional connection. So don't neglect them, make them feel important, and communicate with them.
Oh, you were cheated on? That's your fault. You didn't try hard enough to be a human-shaped treasure chest of eternal devotion. We all know women cheat first and most often. I don't feel guilty at all. I agree. I'm cheating. I don't care. Thank you for your confession. 5 signs your girlfriend has ADHD. How to be desired. ADHD is when online shopping, Nemo Dory, and mood swings.
Her shopping carts are filled. She got bad memory. The fish from Nemo Dory. Big mood swings. These are the best types of girlfriends in my opinion.
Get ADHD girlfriend. Got it. Or one sign your girlfriend has ADHD, she's diagnosed by a doctor maybe. I think this is just girls in general. This next guy isn't as bad as what we just watched, but he confuses me.
Text the guy you like and say, I wish my family would leave the room right now because your texts are making me blush.
But he was just telling me about his dead dog. Are you sure?
Showing someone that they can have that effect on you is a powerful aphrodisiac for them.
Powerful what? What is going on with all of these hormones and chemicals? You're turning what is supposed to be natural into a science experiment. And what is going on with the iPhone template? I'm watching you on my phone. Is it in case I forget? And can you please explain to me that profile picture, because that's not you. Or maybe that's him when he's in his true form.
Send someone a message that says, what's the first date we're gonna have when this is all over?
Do you see what I'm saying? What do you mean when it's all over? When what's over? The apocalypse? He is planning something. A lot of his content seems to be specific lines to say to make men fall in love with you, but it just sounds like if ChatGPT discovered vodka and loneliness.
When he looks at you in a certain sexy way, maybe he smiles with it, I want you to say to him, you can't look at me like that.
That's it. That's the key to the universe. What he's saying is movie dialogue though, like this corniness doesn't work in real life. Wow, you're just so... Don't look at me like that. Why? Huh? I asked why. Oh, well, I'm not really sure, actually. I was just looking in that direction. I can stop if you want. No. There was this alien on TikTok, and he taught me about these chemicals and hormones. I feel like I often miss a lot of satire, but I went through this next girl's entire account, and I don't know how it's still up. Almost every video is this exact same thing.
I absolutely hate to tell you this, but you know, man, if your girl really loved you, she'd be sending you some surprise photos while you were at work. She'd be sending you some surprise photos.
And then we get flashbang. She's definitely more deranged than Neela, but she does a tad more to conceal it by being boy crazy instead of women hating.
If she's out with her girls and she hasn't posted one story, I got some bad news for you.
Or she could just be enjoying herself and not worried about hitting a vlog quota. My girlfriend went to the gym and didn't once post a photo of herself. She must be getting mounted sideways on the elliptical.
If a guy posts an Instagram story and tags a location, he wants you to show up there. Why else would he do it?
Listen, I mean this in the kindest way possible, but you are truly the most easiest kidnappable person I've ever seen on this app. Yeah, I can't stay long. I have to go to this random location in the middle of the forest. You could say he's into me. Moving on to the final beast of relationship aesthetics and why I'm sick and tired of seeing this couple. They're everywhere. Please make them leave.
Babe, I swear to God, next time I ask for dessert, just say no.
Okay.
Babe, oh my God, a new gelato place just opened up. Can we go get some?
No!
You don't even love me anymore.
Get it? Because girls are so confusing and temperamental. There's nothing really wrong with these two. I'm just using them as a way to show off the couple talk influencer spectrum. Ben and Chloe represent the picture-perfect relationship. Everything is manufactured and tailored for a child audience.
Showing my girl what physical Riz looks like.
Hey.
Whoa.
Man, I have to do this in the future. Taking notes. You see, Ruben, this isn't necessary unless your girlfriend is also prone to tripping on invisible enemies. That was so staged. No, it wasn't. Don't say that. Ben and Chloe are always genuine. Like all the other creators in this odd little genre, contrived skits completely take over and somehow everyone is camera blind.
When I get home, dinner better be served, the dishes need to be clean, the floors vacuumed and mopped.
Chloe doesn't like his tone, so she grabs a spatula and just kind of wields it there for a moment as if it's her knee-jerk reaction. This house better be vacuumed when I come home. Whoa, whoa. Don't, what are you doing with that?
That's what he told Julia, babe.
No way, babe.
Yep, and that's why they broke up.
No way.
It hurts me to know that people somehow believe this. No one else saw her nearly hit him with a spatula? Stop, he's gonna find out. The thing that really gets my skin crawling here is the content factory of capturing precious princess period moments.
Telling my BF I got my period while he's getting ready for a boys' night out.
Yeah, it makes you look really good.
Then he did this.
Wait, actually, babe. Would you mind grabbing me a tampon before you go? I'm so sorry.
I'd rather be skinned alive than witness another grown man treat a tampon like a leukemia diagnosis.
A tampon.
Babe.
What? I'm sorry.
It's that time of the month.
Yes.
No, it's okay.
No, babe, it's okay. You're my powerful bleeding warrior. This cynical cycle won't stop you, not as long as I'm here. You must have 3 orbital tumors to be missing that camera. It's practically being shoved in your face.
Like you found out before I made plans?
Yeah, but it's
Babe,
what are you?
No, what was that? Why is that there? Did you put that there purposefully? It looks too big to be accidental.
Doing,
No,
babe?
it's okay,
Babe,
my
seriously,
love.
stop.
No, I'm gonna cancel the plan.
Are you joking right now?
100%.
Babe, stop
I need to
being.
take care of you, okay?
No, you're too fragile. I must cancel all of my plans. You can't do this alone without a babysitter. Do people really look at this and find it heartwarming? And it's not just them, it's the entire coddling ecosystem. Traveling over to the other side of this nightmare is publicizing your relationship to the point of destroying it. The best way I can describe Lexi and her boyfriend is exhausting. Oh, you wanted to sleep? Too bad.
So me and my boyfriend just reached another stage in our relationship where I get to go out and wear an outfit like this and come home to him waiting for me. He doesn't even care. Okay, so...
That's how most of her posts are with him. He's either asleep or looks like every drop of blood has been drained from his body. You can really see the relationship start to crumble during the saddest grocery trip of the century, a video that really moistured my eyes with genuine empathetic tears. Been feeling like my boyfriend isn't attracted to me or our relationship anymore.
Do you want to get this?
I try anything just to talk to him and he could care less. So the next big thing is communicating with TikTok instead of him. So the reason he doesn't speak to you may have something to do with the camera being pointed at him like a weapon whenever you're initiating conversation.
He rushes everything we do together.
We have to hurry.
This is actually where we first met, and I know he forgets. Whoa, calm down with the millennial silliness. We're in public. Publix? Maybe. I don't know. She then tries to be romantic, as she calls it, and he's just trying to get a carton of eggs. A trip to the supermarket with your partner should not require a tripod. The relationship coaches from earlier would love you, but he does have that vacant, depressed stare, which means you're breaking a rule. Not for long, though. The inevitable implosion came shortly after this grocery adventure, with him leaving and her sulking broadcasted to a bunch of gullible clones.
It's the first time I'm actually talking about this. So me and my boyfriend recently broke up. We went viral.
I'm not sure why you're surprised. You've turned your relationship into a reality show. Instead of taking space to maybe process the breakup, because why would anyone do that? She posted blood-curdling attempts to get him back, hoping he'd see her true display of whatever this is. Those invested in their high-value couple talk content eagerly took her side in all of this, mostly rallying behind Lexi because she's just so sad. Leave fast before it hurts you even more. 286,000 likes is insane. Ignore him back. She went absolutely nuclear when he finally escaped, crashing his niece's birthday party with no gift but a mission to catch a glimpse of him.
Obviously, a lot of people care about me, so they were giving me a lot of advice. I know that his niece's birthday is today, and I know where his parents live, and I know that the party's there. I'm going to the party today.
Right, so to be ultra selfish, you should always Trojan horse a child's birthday party.
But I'm going to the party today because I want to get back together.
These are the type of people who are using the relationship advice from earlier. It sounds like she's following a self-help piece on how to worm your way back into his heart. Extremely overwhelmed by all the advice people are giving me about my relationship on my last TikTok. So I'm getting a haircut. Yeah, that's cool. What about therapy, maybe? There's a lot of people saying that this is a joke and then saying that it's serious. And if it is a joke, I don't think it's funny. And I actually think it's really weird. Maybe it's supposed to be a self-aware joke about how TikTok commodifies intimacy, but it just comes across as tone deaf, especially with the emotional abuse bits and with the stalking as well. Like, am I supposed to look at that and go, that's so funny? You stalk people, huh?
I know where his parents live. I'm going to the party today.
You stalkers, don't stop. She never said it was a joke though, so I'm including it in here assuming it's authentic. The partner test obsession is an undying one, with new shit just being invented daily.
There's 100 cooters, and you have to distinguish mine out of the 100 cooters. How are you distinguishing mine?
Am I allowed to do a taste test?
Are you dating someone? And do you have a lime in your house? Because I have a fun relationship building activity.
This test tells if your partner is being faithful or not.
If it sinks, meaning he is not cheating, and if it floats, a possible cheating now or in the future. This test is the pinnacle of mature relationships. What other way is there to gauge faithfulness than the powers of a mystical lime bobbing in a glass? Two big tests you've definitely seen before are the orange and spill test. Both have morphed into tools of interrogation, as most harmless challenges do in the hands of couple talk. The spill trend is a lot older. It was the original orange test. The premise was to dump a bunch of ketchup everywhere, and if your boyfriend could clean it up properly, then he was a good guy. But if he does this, then...
How am I supposed to even clean that? Why are you doing this to me?
Just clean it.
I don't get it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Dude, just clean it.
He failed miserably. Run, don't look back, run now. You need to break up immediately. Do you know what could happen if a sicko like him were to clean up ketchup in a non-controlled setting? Cataclysm!
Testing the orange peel theory on my BF.
The big evaluation in question is asking your partner for an orange and if they can peel it for you. It's a mundane request that's treated as some monumental task, a true test of a man's devotion and worthiness.
Do you have an orange?
No.
Yeah, like for me to eat.
No, I had a bunch of apples that I ate.
But if you had one, would you give it to me?
Of course, yeah.
Would you peel it for me?
Yeah.
Really?
He is so sweet, I cry. Are we thinking of the same thing right now? Like the spherical fruit that little babies eat out of netted bags? A 5-year-old could peel one of those for you. No way, he's peeling that orange. Are they laced with mercury and have cementation steal skin where you come from? What's making these oranges such a grueling task?
I really want to have this orange, but I don't want to peel it.
Do you want to get like a plate or something like that? You can put all the peels on the plate.
While wearing a white t-shirt too. Is your orange producing that much squirt to where you need to put on labor garb and lie down on tarp? Love, respect, communication, kindness. This couple gives me hope to believe in love. You got that all from an orange. Okay, well that's that. Remember to always raw dog your phone because cases are for girls, and if your ears wiggle in the wind... Oh, look at my Twitter. You looking at it? Oh wow, so cool. Oh, you wanna click on it? You wanna click on it so bad. Bye.